right, so good afternoon everyone once again. So we are live here at Hakbang TV, and as I promised earlier, we have someone here nga mag-share sa atua ang basics sa hydroponics. Katong mga bag-o man ni sa ilang pagdungugon sa hydroponics, i-explain ni sa atong bisita karong hapuna. So ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, it is my privilege to introduce to you the co-founder of Kids Who Farm. Of course, iyaning na-create ni siya nga organization or movement together with his daughter, Raina. So ladies and gentlemen, ani-ana ang atong bisita for this afternoon to talk about this kind of gardening. Please welcome Moncini, Hinay, all the way from Zamboanga City. Hi, Mons!
Hello, maayong hapon, buenas tardes, good afternoon sa atong tanan. And welcome sa day 1 sa Hakbang.
Yes,
so we're very much happy to be part of this. Yeah.
Sige mo, so I will leave you with the viewers for now. Just call me back later for the question and answer. So guys, mag-uban sa mo ni Moncini pagkakaroon, kita na ta later. Okay? So Mons, take it away.
All right, so good afternoon everyone. So I'm just gonna share my screen para yeah. There you go. Yeah. So I am Munir Hinay, or Owen also called me Monsi. So I am from Kids Who Farm. So before I'm gonna present ang topic, which is I'm tasked to deliver about something on hydroponics. Let me introduce first ang gamay nga advocacy initiative here in Zamboanga. So we are called Kids Who Farm. So basically, the idea is that our food doesn't come from a box, no? And it's very unfortunate nga dagan sa mga bata karon wala na sila kabalo asa gikan ang ilang pagkaon, no? So ang gusto i-emphasize nga of course doesn't come from a box, gikan na siya sa mga nagtoil nagproduce atong pagkaon, which are the farmers. And it's very apt, no, kasi just like a few days ago, we celebrated Jose Rizal's 159th birth anniversary. And we would like to emphasize nga, the youth is the hope of the future. And when it comes to the youth, we also consider them as the future of food security. Yan. So it's very challenging na task para sa mga kabatanunan, but I think maoni siya, no, ang atong kailangan i-strengthen, no. Kids Who Farm as a movement also wants to really build, no, the next generation of food producers, no. So that's why ako kauban na akong daughter, si Raina, who is a 10-year-old grade 4 student. We co-founded Kids Who Farm with the idea of inspiring future farmers, no. Katong mga bata nga nag-eskwela pa, mga youth, and hopefully we can, you know, encourage them, plant a seed, no, sa ilahan to eventually tackle agriculture. So pagdako nila, o ang importante, no, learn to grow their food, no, as a life skill, no. So mo na ang tumong og tuyo ni Kids Who Farm. On a bigger aspect, ang Kids Who Farm, mo ni among vision, no, we want to reverse the persistent trend of aging Filipino farmers, no. How to do that? Of course, it's a very challenging task, pero we want to hopefully contribute in educating the youth in agriculture, creating urban green jobs opportunities for them to be engaged in growing food, not just to secure their food, but maybe down the line, they become our future food producers, no, to supply food for us and ensure there will be food security in the future. So ang motto namo always, ingon pa sa mga bata, kailangan daw sayon og dali lang para mas dali makabalo. So our motto is to make farming fun and easy. So kasi kung dili siya fun, dili siya easy, murag lisod kayo i-convince ang mga bata nga magtuon og agriculture. Lalo na nga na siya yung technical aspect of it, no? And of course, karon nga mga panahona na ata sa situation nga mas kailangan nato i-emphasize ang concept sa food security. So as defined, ang pinaka-importante nga ma-address at this point, no, is access to food, no. So that's why importante ang role sa pag-address sa food security, lalo na nga gina-challenge siya because of the global pandemic. As mentioned by the UN Secretary General Antonio Gutierrez, no, unless we take immediate action, it is increasingly clear that there is an impending food emergency. globally, no? So, how can we address that as a global situation? Ang amo ang nakita ang solusyon is always um, to go back to our homes. And when we're talking about Filipinos in general, over the last 3 or 4 months, no, mo ni siyang figure nga very unfortunate, no, na 4.2 million Filipinos are experiencing involuntary hunger over the last 3 months. And kami from Kids Who Farm, we always emphasize the role of the family, no, the role of our homes in ensuring food security. So that's why we want to encourage home gardening, no. So when we say home gardening, this is not just like ordinary garden lang, but we want to emphasize that home gardening is actually a farming system, no, na pwede nato ma-practice ang agriculture production in the comforts of our home, and it can provide number of benefits, no, one of which is like passive income because you're not gonna buy na kay pagkaon, and of course involving family members in the whole activity of growing food, no. This is very important lalo na atong mga kabataan nara sa ilang mga balay. And of course ang last is that mo ni siya naghatag sa ato og good food supply, no. So ang good food supply is something na dili nato ma-assure, no, or ma-ensure kung gikan sa gawa. So kung naatay ka ugalingon nga backyard, naatay ka ugalingon nga source of food, mas better for us, no. So that's why we want to emphasize grow your own food. And one of the technologies, no, pag-abot sa grow your own food, of course we're talking of a number of technologies, no, dili lang isa duha, but there's a plethora of technologies na pwede kopyahon, pwede nato i-apply sa ato ang panimalay, depende sa unsay kaya nato, no. So kami diri sa Kids Farm, we're promoting a number of technologies, and one of the technologies that you can actually do that makes farming fun and easy is hydroponics, no. So I'm sure na-encounter na ninyo eh. I mean, there's a lot of people who's doing hydroponics. Kami, we're also a student, no? Estudyante pa Miss Hydroponics. So that's why our presentation will focus more on introductory topics, no, on hydroponics. So although naami gamay nga demo on DIY starter kits down the line sa among presentation, but we want to make this something that will tickle your imagination, will encourage you to start your very first hydroponic container. Okay? So, hydroponics, review lang takadali about history. So, it's actually a term coined by Dr. William Jerick of University of California in Berkeley. It's about growing plants in water, no? So, kung sa ano pa soilless, so wala yuta nga involved, no? And in hydroponics, no, the plant roots absorb a balanced nutrient dissolved in water that meets all the plant development requirements. So, it's just a proof na you can actually grow food in water, provided that the nutrient management is being addressed. And in the case of hydroponics, ang tanan nga nutrient nga kailangan sa atong tanom naadya sa tubig nga mooy tubuan sa inyong tanom. So, and of course, hydroponics is also is a term, no, that comes from the word hydro, meaning water, and ponus, meaning labor or working in water. So, mo na siyang brief history about hydroponics, no. And hydroponics has been around, no, for decades, no, since 1920s pa, but over the years nag-improve ang technology sa hydroponics. And basically na-set up nga ginasunod ang mga naga-hydroponics, no. And kani akong ginapakita sa inyo karon is just a basic setup, no. Dili pa siya complicated, no. Ang among goal is just to really start, you encourage yung kaya ra man dai, no, kaya ra mag-hydroponics, no. So if you look closely, ang hydroponics, ato ang pinaka source of food, no, sa atong tanom is the nutrient solution. So in the nutrient solution, na-added to ang tanan nga fertilizer nga atong kailangan for the plant to grow well. And of course, naa siya growing media. Ang growing media niya dili siya yuta, no, posible siyang other material, no, other than soil. And it's a compact production system wherein very gamay lang ang ang kailangan nga area for every plant, gamay lang imong kailangan. And you need of course water to ensure that nutrients are there, no, na i-absorb sa tanom. So in the photosynthesis process, ang kailangan lang actually is carbon dioxide, water, glucose plus oxygen. And it will enable the plant to grow well, no, under that condition. Okay? So what are the advantages kung hydroponics? So ang gipili nimo nga way to grow your own food is hydroponics kasi maybe interested ka or sa inyong balay na kay enough space to set up hydroponics or limited lang yun ang space nimo, you want to optimize productivity and dili ka ganahan mag-work sa soil, no? So gusto nimo wala ka dili mo hugawan imong kamot. So one of the advantages is that because your nutrients plant nutrients no dissolve siya sa tubig, ang tanom diretso siya mo paka-absorb no sa nutrients nga naa sa tubig, no. So ayun pagali nila ang tanom wala siya naga-discriminate as to the nutrients kung unsay naa nga available, what's there that's ready to be absorbed by the plant, and then ready for the plant to be roots to be absorbed, that's the nutrients that will be absorbed by the plant, no. So the nutrient solution provides for the food of our plant, no. Second advantage is that you can grow plants in a limited area, no, and at the same time you can maximize the use of your space, no. So you can set up hydroponic systems in a limited space, no, because unlike planting in the soil, syempre if you're planting in the soil, the roots no travel a lot, no. So in the hydroponic setup, the roots are there just in your container to absorb what is the nutrient no that is available. So you can actually multiply your hydroponic system in a limited space, no? So that is another benefit. And the third benefit is generally there's a more I don't know a more view na if you're growing hydroponics, you're actually growing in a hygienic growing system. And based on practice, there are few pests and diseases no na ma-encounter sa mga nag-hydroponic farming versus growing in soil. But essentially, ang hydroponics is very good no if we're talking also of urban food production systems. Although we want to emphasize na this is not the solution but a way forward. No? And you can actually mix a number of technologies down the line. But basically, if you have this type of hydroponic system, you can actually grow food no and maximize space that you have without using soil and at the same time using what is available material in your house. Okay, so that's the advantages of hydroponics. So as you move along with hydroponics farming, the more ka na immerse sa technology, the more ka nga maging complicated no or more interested in other setup no. So like for example, these are the types of hydroponic system that's out there that's being followed. So naatay deep water culture, and of course in the photos that you've seen no, naa siya aerator no. You can see aerators because that will provide oxygen nga kailangan sa tanom no in growing. So naapoy wick system katong may pabilo na ebb and flow, mo absorb lang siya, may absorb ang nutrient and then ibalik lang pod no ang excess nutrient, and there's the nutrient filled technique no. So as you go along with hydroponics farming, actually mas ma-interested ka dun dito sa mga other pa systems no. And of course na yung mga systems nga sayo na apoy systems nga medyo costly no. Pero ang among gina-encourage is that you start with something that is very easy. Ay lang sa i-complicate. You start with an easy setup or easy type of hydroponics, which is what we call kratky method. No, ang kratky method is also a type of deep water no hydroponic system, deep water culture hydroponic system, which is a passive hydroponic technique. Meaning passive na alam siya, no? Dili kay ka hilabot sa iya, it's just there. You just like leave it there to grow. Of course, you take care of the plant from time to time. But basically, it's growing your food or your vegetable in a suspended, which is suspended above the reservoir of nutrient-rich fertilizer or water. No, so kratky comes from the word kasi na from the founder or from the creator of this one, which is Dr. Kratky of University of Hawaii. So in kratky method of hydroponics, you're actually utilizing some of this material, no? So if you have a rock wool, so kani siya mapalit nimo ni siya sa mga hydroponic supply stores or even sa mga agri supply store. So rock wool is being used for your seedling. So para mag-germinate imong seedling, rock wool atong ginagamit, no? Which is one option. However, kung wala kay rock wool, you can actually use foam. Kung na kay foam diya nga extra sa balay, foam such as this one, no, gikan sa sponge, you can actually use that as for seed germination. And then for your growing media, you can either use coco pit or coconut pit or clay pellets, no. So ang clay pellets, mura siya kiln dry nga clay, no, and it's being used in hydroponic growing systems. And of course, your nutrient will come from the nutrient solution. Here in the Philippines, sikat ang snap hydroponics. So daghan kay nagagamit og snap hydroponics for their nutrient solution. But there's plenty of nutrient solution out there you can actually use. In fact, in my own, I'm experimenting on using organic nutrient solution, vermicasti, using fermented fertilizers, no, in growing my leafy greens. And of course, you need container or reservoir kasi dito nato ibutang ang atong growing media or atong seedlings, no. Ang container can be a balde. You can actually use whatever you have in the house. In my case, I'm setting up some mini hydroponic system using this ice cream bottle, no? Ice cream container. Nga ako lang gibuslutan, gibutangan din ako siya og akong holder sa seedling. And then, yeah. So, mo nang pinaka DIY no, nga hydroponic system nga naa ako diri sa balay. No? And of course, ang logic behind kratky hydroponics is that punon lang gid mo ang container of tubig and then nutrient-rich water, and in growing leafy vegetables in a span of 30 days, slowly ma-absorb, no, sa roots sa inyong tanom ang nutrients o the longer nga mo taas ang iyang roots and maybe around 30 days mo na siya makapag-trigger para motubo gid atong tanom. So as shown in the diagram or in the slide, you can grow like leafy vegetables in a short span of time. And of course, I would like to encourage you to grow what is very easy to do, easy to grow na mga leafy greens and herbs, such as your basil. You can actually also grow lettuce in hydroponics. In fact, ang lettuce ang pinaka medyo sikat, no? Nga type of leafy greens nga gina-grow under hydroponic setup. But you can also do with pechay, you can grow kangkong in hydroponics, and a lot of herbs, no, and spices actually can be grown using kratky method of hydroponics. And in fact, cherry tomatoes, you can also grow cherry tomatoes using kratky method, no. So, of course, this is for starters, really, this is a trial and error, no. Pero we always believe that there are no mistakes in gardening, only experiments. No? So I would like to encourage you to try your very first hydroponic container, no? And of course, as mentioned, no, pwede ta magtanom og lettuce if you want to grow salad, mo ginakaon nimo, and even tomato, no, using the kratky hydroponics method, no. And basically, ang kratky doesn't use air pump, no. So wala tay air pump, purely container lang nga na-isolate nga nutrient solution, i-submerge lang nato ang seedlings, no, which is in a net pot or katong yang holder, and there you go, no, just wait for it to grow, no, provide enough sunlight, and make sure nga you do some checking, pruning, and maintenance, no, sa atong seedling until mag-flower siya, mamunga siya. So this time I would like to emphasize na it's really easy, no? So yun jud siya, promise, no? And to demonstrate na so yun jud siya, we have to show you a very quick, no, DIY hydroponic starter. So I'm just gonna turn off the share screen. I'm gonna show you a video on starting a hydroponic. So I would like to introduce to you my co-founder, si Ryan. Yeah. So Ryan here will help me out in making our DIY hydroponic starter. So our material here is this bottle. No, this is a soda bottle. So what we're gonna do is to cut this using a scissor or a cutter. So of course, you take care. Pero since ibotol na namo siya, yan, there you go. So magic, no? Okay. So this one will serve as your reservoir for your water and your nutrients. And this one will serve as your holder no sa imuhang uh, growing media on your seedling no. So in our case, Rhina's showing here foam. So kani siya sponge, can actually get your buy a sponge or kung naamoy bed diha, pwede niyo kuhaan ng foam. so So this one, we dip this in water so medyo moist na ni siya, no? So what you're gonna do is you put water here, and then this one, the foam, amo siyang i-cut in half so that we can insert the seed here for germination. So mo ni siya ang among gamit nga seed. This is kangkong. So amo siyang ginasulod diha. Just put the seed inside the foam. What you will do is like you insert this holder. So, ang foam na to, mura na siya rock wool, no? Itong ganina, ipakita na ako. And then, you just insert this one here. And you pour water, pour the nutrient solution. So, in our case, naalang may gamay nga example sa nutrient solution that we're using. We're actually experimenting on using fermented fertilizers, no? So, just put your nutrient solution here until brimful siya, no? And make sure lang mo submerge ang foam no sa tubig for it to germinate. So you can actually start growing this your kangkong, your lettuce in this germination bottle, and this will also serve as your grow bottle na no or container sa imuhang hydroponically grown kangkong down the line. So what we'll do if you're gonna expose this adlaw, to make sure lang dili siya mag-develop of algae, ina-cover namon ni siya with a paper or tin or foil no para wala siya algae nga ma-develop. So this is one approach that we're using, and I'm sure after aning a lecture pwede na ninyo sugdan pag grow inyo ang kratky method hydroponics no. Dali lang kay siya. So the other one that we're gonna demo still using this type of container is how to grow your herbs such as your basil no. Basil being grown in hydroponic, kratky hydroponic setup, no? So, kami diri sa balay, daghan may basil. We grow basil in soil, we grow basil in water. And, na ako sa akong likod, basil ni siya. So, we're just gonna cut no? Basil, cutting. So, there you go. So, this is a basil cutting where nga pwede na ito i-replant, no? So, ang atong buhaton lang, parehas akong gipakita ganina. So we're just gonna use the foam nga atong gibutangan ganina sa seed no as the holder of our basil cuttings. So pakita na ko sa inyo ha, ano siya. And then just put it in the middle. Clip lang nato gamay and then ibalik nato siya butang sa ato ang holder which is the upper part sa ato ang pet bottle and then balik nato siya sa atong reservoir. And there you go. You have already your DIY basil in hydroponics. It's easy lang, di ba? Yeah, so like this one too. So if you guys can already start growing your greens, I would like encourage you to start with kratky method if you want to do hydroponics, no? So this is very easy. You can start after this lecture and in a span of few days, naana mo ay ma-harvest nga either lettuce, kangkong, or your favorite basil nga pwede nato gamiton sa ato ang mga luto. Okay, so that's our presentation. I would like to thank everyone for taking the time to watch us. So I'm gonna give back